Okay, for the first part of the practical class for the SQL, we created a table that involves students, matric number, first name, and all like that. And I said that when you want to create any table, you have to understand the syntax to use. Use the word create table just as if you are writing English language. You say create table, you write the name of the table you want to create. Then you have the columns. But before you write a column, you need to actually include your data type, integer, varchar, and all like that. Now, if you, we all know integers are all numbers, varchar strings, and if you want to include anything in varchar, you have to include your the number of letters you want it to actually show. You get that. And if you want to show a table, you do select all by writing select, then star, then from student. Then if you want to start your stuff, you use the syntax inserting to the values and all like that. Now, I'll be for this section, I want to take us how to join tables together. So this actually works even if you create your table yourself or you actually import your data yourself. If you import your data, you have two tables and all like that, you want to join them, you can actually use this same method to join them. But I'll be creating the second table myself so that we can actually join them together. So subsequent class we'll actually check on how to import data, use import data to retrieve those data and do basic calculations so that we get the flow. So now but don't forget, if you're going to join anything in SQL, we have types of joining, but majorly we have, let me just say for introductory, because it's an introductory class, we have inner join, we have left join, we have right join, and then you can actually call it outer join too. That one is included. We can say it's left outer join, right outer join, and we have full join, we have cross join, we have self join and all like that, but we will not be going to all those ones. So we just major on inner join, left join, then right join, then full join. Now let me quickly drop the explanation for left join so that the join, so that we understand them if I create the table. Now in inner join, basically if you want to join it, let's try the syntax. Let's see. Let me just write it. There's a way to show it. Inner join. Did you see? Well, you have to join on something, so I'll teach us that. But let me explain how it was. Inner join is the type of join where there's a return of only the rows that match the values in both tables. We are considering two tables. When you want to return the rows that match the values in both tables, that's why you're going to be using your foreign key like that. So you're going to be using a column that exists in both tables to join them. So I'll teach us that, but let us just understand the definition of the joiner. Inner join returns only the rows that have matching values in both tables. So we'll try that. We have left outer join that returns all rows from the left table and then the matching rows from the right table. So, and if there is no matching table like that, it's going to bring it as no. Please let's note that. So it's going to return for left join, it's going to return the rows from the left table and then matching it with the ones on the right table. Then the right outer join is going to return all rows from the right table and then match it with the rows from the left table. And then if there is no match, it's going to return it as null values for the column from the left table. Then full join returns all rows from when there is a match in either the left or the right. Now, don't get it too much twisted. What just is that understand your desired results. If you understand your desired results, fit into the type of join that you want, fit in your type of join that you want. If you don't get your desired results, you can just change the joins, then you get your desired result. So you can do a try and error method if you are confused sometimes. So that's how it works. So that's that on that. So let's quickly work on the new table. Then don't be anxious for nothing, because this also, the journey actually implies to when you have to go to your flat file, your files itself, you get. So now that's that on that. But let us create the table and join it. Then when we go to, when you are using your flat table, you understand flat files, you understand other thing which we need to do. Okay, now let's create a new table. Let's see. Okay, don't forget I told you that if you want to write anything like your header here, you can put a double dash, then you insert it. Let me see, creating second table like that. All these ones are just necessary because I want us to understand the second table, so that you know what I want to do. So we all know that when we want to create what I want to do, we use the word create. So if you want to copy it from the top, it's fine, but let's quickly write it so that we do it as form of revision. Now let's go to create. What are we going to write next? Table. So what's the name of table we want to create? Let's do for department. I think let's do create table. Create table for, let's do school department. Create table school department. Sorry, school department. Let me have it as school department. Okay, school department. Then let's have, if you have your school department like that, let's have what we have in the school department, like the columns. Create table school department in columns. So let's have, don't forget you must have a foreign key that can actually link the two tables together. Okay, so let's say in my mind I want us to have department ID, then department. Let's do department ID, school department ID, and then department ID. We are going to have your department ID. We all know that department ID we have to include our data type integer, department ID, then we have comma. We can have say, let's do, let me copy department itself, department, this one should be so I can see department. Oh, do I have, okay, probably have a department in one of my stuff. Okay, department, let's do department. What should we put as our voucher? How much should not be more than, let's say 15. Let's say 15. Let's say 15. So let's see if we can actually execute that so that we will be sure. I can use F5 to be sure it says it's completed, you see. Then we can now do, I told you that when you create it, what do you do next? You insert into. So normally you're supposed to insert into what are we inserting into? That's the school department. You can type it up and then you can copy it. Undo, there's a mistake there. I can write school, just double click on it and go to department where you have the column head. Let's see, we have this one as a column, or if you click, if you comma, or let's do it like this so that we're not copy it, we'll be sure. Department ID. Now we now have comma. Let's go to department 2. We have department. This is already registered into the studio. So now let's not have that. When we have that, what's the next thing? This one should be comma. It's not necessary. Safe. Let's go. Insert this. Insert department ID. Insert into school department the column. And now no school department is the table. Then we now have, let me put it like this, values. So meaning that we want it to be, okay, fine, department ID, the first value, meaning if you have 1, let's say we have 1 comma, what department is that? Let's say science, or let's do student, and okay, let's do arts. Let's do arts department. Let's use small letter art. Now close this one up. So this one can actually continue, or you place it below so that you can understand it sometimes, but it's not necessary. So I can do it like this for easy access. I don't want to waste much time because of copy, then paste, comma, paste, comma. I think we have 4 departments. So I can change this one to 2. Let's say finance. If I get a finance, yes, let's do department, let's do IT, or let's not do. So this one is 2, this one is 1, this one is 3, this one is 4. Okay, let me move this 4. Which one should we put? Let us put HR or science, anyone. Let me just do HR. Capital letter H and R. Okay, now let's see. So this one, let's block it. Like, let's close it up. Let's see, do we have, now where did we have it? Okay, I did not close this. This one should be closed. That's why I said we have to be very careful when you are writing. It's add values, comma, this to this finance, then this, then this, then this. Now that's that. Let's execute this. Let's see if it will run. If it's not running, it will not be. 4 rows affected. Did you see that? 4 rows affected, meaning that one has been included. So let's confirm if we have it already in. So let's now do showing table. Let me just bring it here. We just write it. Select all. From which table did we create that school department? Did you see that? Not actually check it again, because I know that it should work well. Let me see. This one should come. I like to make my work so easy to understand. So let's check F5. Did you see department ID 1, 2, 3, 4? Then we have department arts, finance, IT, and HR. Now that is that for that. Now let's now go into joining now. Joining table. So don't forget, if you want to have your header, just what joining tables. You see, now let's go on. Now joining tables. Now let's now join this table. Now if you're going to join the table, this is how you are going to join it. I told us the other time, I said when you are doing anything when it comes to SQL, it's just as if you are writing English language. Now let's now think. Now any table you want to join, you need to actually select it, and this is how you are going to do. You need to select the rows too. You need to select not rows, the column, so that, because sometimes you might not select some columns, and then you include some columns, you might not select some other columns. You understand? So it depends. So let's say we want to do, probably, should we work with all the columns? Okay, let's just work with some columns like that, or we work with all. Let's say select. Now select, use the word select. Now if you are joining your table, what you need to do is you have to select the table dot. You have to select the table dot column. Now let's go. What's the table? What's the first table? Select what's the first table? Student. Let's see, select student. We should have student. Now good. Select student dot, that's the column. Now what are we selecting? Department ID, comma. The reason why we still have the line under, because there is no from yet. So sometimes some people can actually do it like, okay, let me have my from straight off. Let's just put from, so that you will not be having error sometimes. So that you can be right from, you get from, what is the name of the table? From students, we have the table student. Good. From, so that you will not be having errors. Did you see? The error has been moved. Select this. So we can do select all from student, join it with department ID and all like that. So that one is dependent on how we want to do it. But I will not want us to select all. I want us to pick some parts, although they are not much. So that we get that. Now select dot ID, the department ID, then student dot. Let's do first name. Yeah, let's do comma. Let's do first one, comma. Then let's do student. Let's copy that one so that to speed up my work. Student, first name, department ID, first name, and then let's do their matric number. Let me check. Matric number, first name and matric dot, matric first, matric number. Let me copy this so that I'll be on the safer side. Copy, or you can just click on it like that. Depending on, I'll just get the desired result actually. Matric number, select this, take this, student ID, first name, matric number from student. Normally, there's not a comma there so that it will be from student. Select department ID, student first name, student matric number. You get from student. Now this is where the joining now comes in. So now I want to put the joining there. Now the joining that you want, if you want full outer join, if you want inner join, left join, or any type of joining, depending on what you actually want. So I'm going to be showing us the result of all the joins you get, so that when we want to actually work on any of our data set and it involves us joining one or two tables together, you can actually select the one. But I'm going to show us all the joins. So let's do full outer join first from this one. From, so when you have it from, then now do full outer join. Full outer join. The syntax will change, you see. Now, what are we joining on? You have to tell us what we are joining on. Full outer join. Joining what? What's the name of the second table we are joining? That is school department. Now, if you are joining on the school department like that, you have to join it on something. There must be a foreign key. What links the other table and this table together? So what links the two tables together is our department ID. If you remember, we have department ID here, and then we have department ID in the other table. So we have to join it on students. Let's click. That's a student. That's the first one. Student dot, that department ID, that's the column, equals to, so where that one is equals to, department equals to, at the end, the school department. Sorry, my hands are so fast on the keyboard. Now the school department, come in. You might not need to put space, but at least I like it to. School department, that is student dot department. Now this one to the table dot this. So you are joining the school department, full data join. You are joining school department on the student, down the table and the column. That's why we have it as dot, equals to the school department itself dot the department. What links is together? Now let us execute this. Now let's see if this will work. Let's see F5. Did you see that? Now if you notice that I did not actually select some columns, so it's not showing me those columns. If I use select all, that select star, it will actually bring all the columns. But now I don't want to include all the columns. I just want to include the ones I need, like the department ID, the first name, the matric number, and the department ID. You understand? So if I don't want to include, okay, fine. If I want to include the department itself, so I can say, okay, fine, student, I have the department. Do I have the department in the first table that we created? Okay, we just have all that. So we can now say, okay, fine. If you want to include it, you can just select it from, then you include your department like that. If you want to include your department into it, but for now I don't want to include the department. So if you want it, you have to include your department to be student, department, school department dot department. Do we get? So that's that on that. That's that on that. How you select all from that. So now let's go to this one is full outer join. Let me show us. Okay, let me select school department dot from student comma school department full outer join. I wanted to check school department. I want to hold on. I want to execute something. Okay, fine. Look at now what I just did here. Just I wanted to I wanted to introduce this data, the department, into the section so that you guys can see. You see, what I did was I selected the school department from the first name, then the school department from department itself. I selected that one from student and department. That is from the two tables. Do we get that? So that you can see. But if that one is not, I did not include the one for the joining actually. Did you see? That's why it's returning all these ones like that. So I don't need that. I just wanted to check if it will come up like that. So now, so this is my desire. This is what I actually desire to run. This is what I want to actually show you get. Now look at this one now. I included school department dot department, so it added the department for me because I wanted department to show too. So if I don't want the department ID to show too, I can just remove it if I don't want it to show. So I actually wanted to show like, okay, the first name, the matric number, and the department. Do we get that? Yes. Now let's now go. I've added the department to it. The other one I don't add the department to it. This one I added the department to it. You see, the reason why it actually show the department because I actually instructed it with the query that school department, that table from the column. That's that on that sharp. Now let's go on with other thing. Now let's go. If I want to do the other type of joining, let me show us. So I'll just copy it like that. I want to show the same thing. Then I can change it. Let me change this one to inner join so that we see the results. Inner join. Sometimes you might need to change some stuff like that. School department. It's saying multiple identifier here, so could not be bound. Okay. Inner just school department. Then oh, I think I get that. So now let's do full outer join. Come in 1 minute. Okay. Which one do we want to do? Inner join, right? Inner join. Let's find that thing. Did you see that? The inner join is now showing a result combining the department, matric number, first name, and ID together. Now let's see if I've done full outer join. Okay, let's do left join. Alright, left join. I just needed us to understand the stuff. Now this is left join. This is just for the right join. So you can get to use your right join. I don't want us to retype again. That's why I'm using just use the right join like that. So this one is the better. If you look at, okay, let me copy so that we can see the difference. Let's see. Left join. Now let's do this one. You can highlight this 3, then execute. The 2. You can highlight the 2. You can highlight everything, then execute, then to give you the table. So far your query is right. You see, don't sometimes by writing your query like that and it will tell you it will not run, then you have to do it 1 or 2 times. So don't think because my only just going smoothly. When you make mistake like that, it is normal. So I'm trying to show you what, if you look at the way I'm doing it, I'm trying to write it in such a way that it is easy for me to actually read it, for the server manual student to actually understand. You get. So now let's check the difference between this. Now if you check the first one, we have joy having 104. So now it's considering the first one is considering the right table before the left table, then this one is considering the left table before the right table. If you see joy 104 art finance, Faye, John, as that like that, but this one is having Shem first, Faye, John, Joy, as that Aisha, sorry. So now I've explained to us that when you are doing your joining, probably we are using when you are doing your joining and you want to return only the rows that have matching values in both tables, like union, that's when you have inner join. Now if you want to return all rows from the left table, that's the left table, the first one, and then the matching rows on the one that actually have the matching rows with the one on the right table, that's when you use the left join. But note, it will return everything on from the right table as none if there is no matching rows. Now let's go to the right outer join. It returns all rows from the right table and the matching rows from the left table matching rows from the left table. If there is no match row from the left table, turn it as none. The value returned as none from for the column for the left table. You get. So we still have cross join and all, but we don't need to self join. Don't know this one. So for now, we have learned how to join tables. So irrespective of you creating your table, that doesn't mean if you want to join table, you need to create them. If you import your flat files, your CSV file into the database already, and you needed to join, probably you imported two files, or probably they are in separate sheets, and then you needed to join. You're going to be joining it like this if they are all in the database. You understand? So that's that on that. But for now, we are done with getting to understand joining in SQL, and then how to create table.